I'm Dr. Lori. I'm at the Goodwill in Westport, Connecticut. Come thrift with me. And there are these, which you should all look for. You should know that these are English when you see them. Transferware, very typical English design. Design of flowers around the rim. And then the center is, of course, detailed. These are Myotts. Bouquet is the name of the pattern, made in Staffordshire. So that's really, those are nice. And it looks like there's 4 of them here. What do they want for them? They want $2 each. So these are $18 for one. They have to be in good condition, so you have to look at the condition as well. Those are nice for 4. So 18, 36, and 36. So 72. I don't know if that math is correct. Spongeware, which would be great if it was from Vermont, but I think it's Italian because of the shape and the style of the spongeware. That is Italian. Okay, so Italian spongeware, big oval serving. Spongeware is a decorative process that was, well, in New England made famous in Vermont, but all throughout much of the southern Mediterranean, like Spain, Portugal, Italy, you'll see a lot of spongeware design too. This is great. This is a beautiful blue-white piece, very functional, only $8. Good condition. And when you see blue-white spongeware, you want to see areas where you can understand that the sponge was there, right? And areas that are just plain. So you want that contrast of the areas that are very, very blue, like these areas, and the areas that are really, really white, like these areas. So this is a nice one. This is definitely a bargain at $8. And you could see that it's an exclusive hand-painted piece from Italy. And even though it's produced in large numbers for these big manufacturers, for these big distributors, it has a distribution mark. That's where it says Pier 1, made for Pier 1 imports. That's called a distribution mark. That's how did we sell it? How are the Italians going to sell it on the American market? Through the distributor. So that's basically what you're looking for. So don't think, oh, it's not going to be good because the store maybe isn't upscale. But these pieces are made in Italy, handmade, and then exported to the United States. For $8, this piece is worth $50. You're going to see it at that all the time, and I don't see any chips or abrasions or inclusions. So that one I definitely will leave here for you. So more ceramics, let's see. So teapot. To me, if there's no lid on a teapot, you could leave it, or if you're going to put flowers in it, it's okay. This one is relatively typical, an English Sadler teapot. Sadler teapots were known for those teapots that raised money during World War II. So a lot of Sadler teapots came out of that time period. This one's from the 1960s. I'll show you the mark. You can see it there. And it even has a $5 price tag on it. I only think it's worth about $5. The reason for that is it doesn't have a lid. So it's kind of hard to make hot water without the lid. It's going to evaporate. So I would leave that there. But it's good to know the characteristics of a Sadler teapot. One of them is this sharp straight line here where the lid would fit on very nicely, and also these multiple gold leaf forms on that. So $5 with the lid, probably 20 bucks, but without the lid it's only worth $5. Well, here's another teapot. This is Stangl from New Jersey. That's a nice piece. Look at that. So $8. That's kind of low for this. So when you see and you think, wow, that's kind of low price, look around. There might be something wrong with it. It does have the lid, which is nice, and it's glazed inside the lid, which is what Stangl is known for. And it's a pretty nice piece. That's the problem. See how it's cracked in there? I bet that crack went all the way to the underside. See, it's not cracked where they typically are, which would be here on the spout or here. Oh yeah, it is cracked on the spout. Yeah, that's why it's so low. Oh yeah. Somebody put this on the stove. That's what happened. Somebody put this on a hot stove, and this is the result. Stangl, of course, is made in New Jersey. Trenton is where Stangl originated. This is a nice teapot from the 1950s, 1960s. It's okay decorative for $8. I would say, what's it worth? Probably about $22, just for the decorative nature, but you're not making tea in it because it's all going to leak. Oh, hey, wow. Oh, wow. There's a nice piece of crystal. Nice crystal vase with 2 chips. See, you really got to see when it comes to glass in thrift stores. You've got to check that out. So this is a nice piece of crystal. I would have said, wow, that's a great vase for even for 12 bucks, but it's damaged. It's damaged on the top in two places, right across from one another. So that's too bad. I'll put that back. How about these dishes? The shape should tell you that they're from the 1960s. These square pieces. Let me get my glasses on so I can see. I'm always putting them on, putting them off, putting them on, putting them off. I don't know if you do that. American made, Lamberton ivory. That's a nice piece. These are pretty. There's only 3 of these. No, too bad. These would look nice on a dining room wall. These would look nice in a china cabinet. These would look nice on a table. Maybe there's only 2 of you, you know, $5. They're worth 15 each. So they're worth 15 each. They are hand painted. So you can see the hand painted work here. A stencil is put down and then they come in and hand paint it. So that's pretty. I think those are nice. The gilding is not all scratched away like a lot of pieces are from this time period. So that's a good deal. That's a bargain right there. Here's a couple Japanese pieces. $2 for a 1970s Japanese saucer. It's about what they're worth. They're bone china, they're not porcelain. And you can see that on the actual mark. A nice pattern though, but they're only saucers. You don't have any cups. So $2, that's what they're worth. So leave those here. How about one single? So people say, oh, I don't want a single candlestick. A lot of young people like single candlestick. They actually like the mix and match. So this one is a nice piece of amber glass. You can see the seams, which helps you identify time period around the 1960s. And you can also see, again, this particular, these flowers at the bottom. So that's really pretty nice. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of an allergy attack there. This piece, they want $3 for it. It's worth 15, so that's 5 times what it is. Amber glass candlestick, just the single. So don't poo-poo the singles. You know, a lot of people just look for the singles. These are mass-produced in large numbers from Asia. Now, that one's cute, but again, mass-produced in Asia. This one's much better, more functional, different materials. You could use it as a planter. I like the birch wood. Birch trees are very, very popular and grow everywhere in Connecticut. So the birch tree basket, I think, is really quite nice. It looks like it's in good shape. How much do they want for this? Is that a 2? If that's a 2, this is definitely a $25 basket if you were buying it retail. And the birch tree woven nature of this is really nice for $2. I definitely take that. That's a bargain. It's very well executed. Hydrangeas, which are one of my favorite flowers, so I'm a little bit biased, and you got to know where your biases are, right? So I like hydrangeas, so I'm going to be drawn to these colors. But hydrangeas in this watercolor, and this watercolor piece, I'm going to give you a good shot of it, is done by a local artist named Allison Gray in the late 1990s. Look at how nicely the different aspects of the watercolor have been applied. You can see the water here, sort of the mushy portions here, but you can see very, very straight lines in the little bit of yarn, and of course the shadow of the yarn and the plate. But the flowers really look like they're more water has been utilized here, where you don't see as much water in the garden gloves or in the string. Signed at lower right, which is very typical of most contemporary artists. It's in a frame that's non-intrusive, so it's got the same colors. She's bringing out this green color when she chose the frame here, and then a very nice double matte. Look at the bright white line of the double matte. The bright white line of the double matte tells you that it is an acid-free museum quality matte. So not only is it more expensive than other mattes, but it's going to protect the artwork long term. So that's really a nice piece too. And a lot of people collect these regional artists. They do quite well. This one is $12 with the frame. It's obviously been professionally framed with a dust screen and with D-rings. So D-rings will give you more support when you're hanging it on the wall. And don't hang anything on a nail or a screw. You have to hang it on an actual hook that will hold all of this. So make sure you buy the hooks that have the amount of weight for this particular piece. This piece is really nice and it's worth $125. They want $12 for it. So I told you, good return on investment for works of art. What great finds. I left the treasures for you at the Goodwill in Westport, Connecticut.